Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Wednesday, January 31st, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to the number 4 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today is the last day of the month and we're moving into February already. Like, would I say January moved fast? It kind of did, but it don't feel as fast as how other months have moved, even though I guess it kind of did move fast to a certain extent. They just started up doing lawn work outside, so hopefully that noise isn't disturbing. The timing has been so good on these videos because right before I did it, when I was getting ready, they were cutting the grass and stuff and they stopped all through me doing these videos. And now when I get to the last one, I heard the motors and stuff start up outside, but we'll see. We'll see. So we have the nightingale when it comes to the spirit animal. And with the nightingale as a spirit animal, you know, the nightingale deals with the mind element and it deals with communication and information. And as we could see with the nightingale is speaking its truth. It's expressing itself. And when I look at, say, today, the moon is in Libra. The moon is in Libra. Mercury is the ruler of the day. Mercury is in Capricorn and it's squaring the moon. So something about the inner world, you know, the moon in Libra, the inner world is in a space or in a place where we don't want to ruffle any feathers or say anything out of place or out of line. And with this energy here, it's bringing me to speaking up and speaking your truth. And of course, Libra energy knows better than anybody else how to communicate in a diplomatic way. But my only concerns with Libra's diplomatic communication, just like those who have their their sun and their Mercury in a different house or in a different planet, or I mean, in a different house or in a different sign or more than 10 degrees apart, tends to communicate in a very diplomatic way, but this way that's so diplomatic is really problematic. It's problematic in the sense that a person says what everybody else needs to hear, but only find themselves building up resentment over time because they feel like no one respects them, no one listens to them, or no one cares about their wishes, when in all reality, the way how they're communicating says that everything is fine when it really isn't fine. And my thing when it comes to people who struggle with communication like that is always asking follow-up questions to make sure that you are on the same pages with others when it comes to what it is that you're communicating. Because sometimes, you know, a person might be hearing what it is that they're hearing for whatever reason why they're filtering the information through the way that they are. And sometimes you could tell when a person can't hear you or don't understand you, and that's where you might step in and ask questions to make sure you guys are on the same page when it comes to the communication. Well, that's only if it's important. For me, if it's not important, I just like back and back out the back door if it's not important. But if it's important, you know, if it's someone who matters and it's important, then you want to ask questions, you know, to make sure. We have the Chariot energy in the reversal position. As I was shuffling the cards, moving them around, this one felt like it fell into my hand. So this energy in the reversal position, together these cards here brings me to like something coming to, it's like say for example, someone had plans to take a trip, you had plans with someone and they broke the plans. Like, you had plans with someone and they completely flaked out on the plans, and it's like having a hard time like calling them out on it, like having a hard time saying, hey, I thought we had this agreement, or hey, I thought, you know, hey, what happened? Like, you know, just ask what happened. But with this energy here, I'm getting, you got to speak up on it. It's like something was supposed to be moving forward and something happened where the plans are, you know, things are no longer moving forward as we had planned, as we had expected. And it's like, you know, speak on it. The Nightingale is encouraging us to have that conversation, because it's like, if we don't have that conversation and let people know how we feel, then they'll continue doing it because they think it's okay, because the way how you handled it left them to think it's okay. And I think it's so sad how we try our best not to be difficult. And trust me, I get it. Like, I can't help but being difficult in certain situations. And I don't feel like I'm being difficult, but I feel like society would have me believe that I'm being difficult or problematic, because I'll speak up and say, like, I remember, what was it? I was getting ready to meet up with someone, and I was getting ready to meet up with someone, and say we're supposed to meet up for 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock comes, 3:05 comes, and they text and say, oh, I'm running 10 minutes late. I got an attitude now, because my thing is, where you're going to meet the person at, like, you've never been, so you're using your GPS to get there. Or even if you've been, based on the time, you know that before 3 o'clock that you weren't going to be there for 3 o'clock. My thing is, have common courtesy and respect, because some people don't even think about it. Some people feel like, okay, at 3 o'clock when I'm supposed to be there, I'll let them know I'm running late. Like, duh, you just stated the obvious. Like, you're supposed to be here, you're not here. And I think there's places in my chart that reflects this part of me or whatever. And, you know, some people can relate, some people, whatever. But, like, to me, don't waste my time. Like, I feel like time is the most precious thing on this earth that you could give to anyone. And it's the most precious thing on this earth that someone can give to you. And the minute that you find that someone doesn't respect their time or yours, you need to slowly back out the door and run for your life. Because, like I said, time is too precious. And there's something about the energies in today where it's like, you know, someone feels like maybe their time is being wasted, but they're afraid to be problematic. Where I feel like, say if this friendship or this connection has a chance, the sooner I communicate and express myself and let it be known, you know, my views on things, like, things might have a chance of working out, in the sense that we're supposed to meet at 3. I'm sure at 2:30, if you're coming all the way from somewhere that's 40 minutes away, at 2:30, you knew you were going to be here at 3. So for me, like, as soon as you know, hit me up and let me know. Like, you know, I'm expecting what I would do, the same common courtesy. You know, at 2:30, I'm looking at the GPS and it's saying my arrival time is 3:15. So at 2:30, I'm hitting you up. And I used to have that same thing in the salon. Like, your appointment is at this time. You state in the fact, like, at 3 o'clock, you let me know you're running late. Like, duh, I don't see you. It's 3 o'clock. Like, you state in the fact, that's so obvious. In a sense, like, to me, it's okay that you're late. It's okay that I'm late. It's okay that we're late. That's normal. That's not the point. For me, the point is, and I hope on this day I'm not dealing with this while I'm going about this, but the point is, for me, like, the moment you know, let the person know. Because, like, say, for example, with me in the salon, I got a 3 o'clock coming. At 2:30, you know, I realized that where I'm at sewing this weave-in, at 2:30, I noticed that I'm still sewing the weave-in. So if I'm still sewing the weave-in, because at 2:30, the weave should have been sewed in, and now I'm trimming up some of the ends, dropping some curls in it, and boom, they're out the door. It gives me 5-10 minutes to clean up and, you know, be ready for the next person to sit in the chair. If 2:30 comes and I see that, you know, I'm behind, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call my client and say, hey, it looks like I'm gonna be 10 minutes late or 15 minutes late or whatever. This gives them the option to, maybe they're gonna run to the grocery store and prep dinner for their family. Maybe they're gonna instead go pick their kid up because now they got time because I'm running late. Like, it gives people options to do things. So, you know, the way I'm going on, the way I'm going on about this, you can tell I'm passionate about it. So it's like, to me, you know, respect yourself and teach people how to treat you. So manipulative people will make you feel like you're being difficult when you're stating your needs. So like, yeah, whenever I'm, you know, hanging out with people or getting to know people and they show that they respect my time, like, I always let them know, like, that is appreciated. Like, I appreciate people that respects time. You can tell I'm a child of Saturn. Like, I am a child of Saturn. Saturn has taught me to respect time. I remember when I would be going places, I remember I had this fashion show. I had won this fashion competition when I was at the Art Institute, and I was presenting my fashion design piece at the Boca Raton Town Center Mall. I think I might share an image of me presenting my piece. It was like a Lady Gaga inspired fashion show. And I created a dress out of electrical wires and all like electrical material and tools. Like, even the shoes was made up of material, electrical wires. I had to submit my sketch. And then from my sketch, I won a place in the competition from my sketch. And I made the dress or whatever. And my mom flew in for my graduation. And, you know, I was rushing to get to the mall or whatever to be a part of the show, and I'm rushing. And I remember my mom was so annoyed because she's the type of person, if she has a doctor appointment at 1 o'clock, she's there from 12:15, just chilling. And I'm like, who does that? But she does that. And I remember I was rushing, and you could tell she was annoyed because she doesn't like to be rushed or get rushed anywhere. And she looked over at me and she's like, there's no such thing as being on time. It's either you're late or you're not. And that just really sunk in with me. It's either I'm late or I'm early. It's either you're late or you're early, but you're not on time. You're late or you're early, but you're not on time. And that just stuck with me. So I ran and did the most and said all that to say, yeah, today, you know, something might be challenging for you, where with the moon in Libra, like, we want to compromise. And from that compromising, like, there's something happening with communication where we're not fully expressing our truth. We're not fully saying, you know, we're not fully saying what needs to be said. And to me, that will build up resentment over time. It will build up resentment over time, where it's like, you know, like I said with the situation, say when the person hit me up, and when they show up, I'm like, you stated the obvious. Like, you know, at 3 o'clock, it was clear you was going to be late because you were supposed to be here. And, you know, they could either become a victim and not see how, you know, and not see that, yeah, like, at 3 o'clock, like, you're supposed to be here. You would have known you're not going to be here way before on your way. So next time, let me know. You know, some people might be like, well, you got a point. And boom, it's done there. And some people might feel offended, because one thing to me is funny. And I remember somebody said this to me. How's she gonna be wrong and strong? Like, how you gonna be wrong and strong? Meaning you late and you come in with an attitude. Like, don't come in here with an attitude. You're the one that's late. Don't gaslight me into like not feeling some type of way because you late. Like, you late. And it's so funny now that I'm talking about it, because it's like, being a child of Saturn, me and time. But it's like, yeah, you know, with the conversation, me bringing it to somebody's attention, they might be wrong and strong in the sense that because of their shame or insecurity or whatever, feel like they're being scolded or however they feel, instead of take offense and not see it as, okay, I see your point. Okay, my bad, I see your point. And it's just, that's just it. By the end of the day, we can't expect for people to think the way we think, of course. You know, we all know that, or we say we know that, until situations happen, and we have to remember that over and over again. But hands down, you know, something is held up and you're encouraged to speak your truth. You're encouraged to speak your truth about what's held up. The energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 4 vibration. So the number 4 deals with stability and security, discipline, consistency. Something is on a wobble. Something isn't secure and it's being exposed today. That thing that isn't secure. And, you know, you got to speak about it, because with the Nightingale energy, to me, it's like, how do we teach people how to treat us? How do we teach people how to deal with us? We teach people how to treat us and deal with us by expressing ourselves. And in certain situations, implementing, putting systems in place to avoid having certain dramas. Like with me, you know, after a while of late appointments or people just not respecting their appointment, once I implemented a deposit system where you deposit a percentage of the service you're going to get, because the service you're going to get, you know, might take a certain amount of time. So you deposit a percentage of that goes towards the service. But, you know, say if you don't make it on time, or you don't miss the, or you don't make the appointment, you lose that money. That compensates for the inconvenience. It's like, once I implemented that system that everybody had to agree to before they paid their money, changed everything. There was no more conversations. You know, a person missed the appointment, ain't nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing to talk about. They just book it again. Like, ain't no begging, ain't no nothing, like nothing to talk about. So within your life, you might need to implement some kind of a system or something in place to avoid what keeps happening, so you're not put in the position to be the bad guy to where you feel like you're babysitting grown-ass people. So to avoid babysitting grown-ass people, something needs to be put in place. The foundation needs to be solidified in some way. Mercury is the ruler of the day, and Mercury is positively aspecting Neptune, Uranus, Neptune too, positively aspecting Neptune and Pisces, and Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus. So the positive aspects being made to Mercury is like, yeah, the mind is in a place where you want freedom and you're reflective and introspective, and, you know, allowing your higher self to help you to see different solutions and ways to create more peace for yourself. But the moon is in a place where I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want no problems. I don't want nobody mad at me. And, you know, when we avoid that, we end up creating more problems. We end up creating things that are blown way out of proportion. Like, I think of, say, the person who has the number 5 in the blind spot position. And in the blind spot position, that's adding up your year and your birthday. You know, that's something I created when I was obsessing over the numerology. So when you add your year and your birthday together and you reduce until you get a single digit. So say if you was to get the number 14, 1 plus 4 would be 5. So people with the number 5 in a blind spot position, or people with Mercury and their sun in 2 different signs or 2 different houses, tend to find themselves communicating in that Libra diplomatic way, because for some reason within childhood or at some point, you know, communication was seen as some kind of weapon or something that's dangerous. So it's, or even the truth was seen as weapon or dangerous. So, you know, these people learn to communicate in a way where it's like tiptoeing around things. And, you know, find that, you know, when, you know, things get to a point where they can find themselves blowing up, and all of a sudden, you know, things, you know, they're spazzing out, and it's like, damn, why are you spazzing? Why are you tripping? And to this person, it's like, that's because, you know, they're not respecting me or they're not hearing me. But nah, you've been trying to avoid conflict, and in the process of avoiding conflict, you haven't been communicating in a way that's been true to you. Instead, you've been communicating in a way that gives everybody the false narrative that everything is okay when it really isn't. And you can't take it anymore. And now you're popping your top and it seems justified, but to everybody else, it's like, you tripping. And, you know, if you could step out of yourself and see where they're coming from, they don't see where all this is coming from, because all along you haven't been saying anything. You've been assuming for them to just know. And one thing I've learned is never assume for anyone to know anything if I ain't tell them. If I ain't tell them, don't assume for them to know. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. If you'd like to book a natal chart awareness coaching session with me, Join the monthly Zoom meetup group that's a part of Patreon. Also checking out my exclusive contents only available on Patreon. The links for that is in the description box below. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.